I'm April Davis. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. I live in Spring Hill, Kansas, and I'm so glad to have you here tonight. I'm double checking to make sure, as always, that I'm live so that you guys can all see me. Not seeing yet, but I know that there's a little bit of delay. So hopefully I will be live soon. I won't, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I've been having technical difficulties tonight. And so I just want to double check. Oh, there I am live. So fingers crossed everything goes well tonight. Technical difficulties. I had to do a few things different than I normally do, and that's okay. I can turn on a dime, but I think I'm going to get a new computer because I'm just like done with this computer that I've been using. It's old and it just doesn't want to cooperate anymore. So anyway, I'm going to update you on a lot of things tonight. Gosh, it's only been a week since I've talked to you, and already there's so much more for me to share. I know that I say that every single week, but there's more to share. So the first thing that I want to share with you is last week when we had our Facebook Live, I shared with you that I had hit a milestone for me, and I had 500 subscribers on YouTube. I do my Facebook Live and then I upload the Facebook Live to YouTube. So it's on both places eventually. But I hit 500 subscribers last week, and is kind of a celebration of doing that. Hi, Diane, so good to see you. A celebration of doing that, I had shared that I was going to give away this Hello Ladybug stamp set and punch for people who liked and shared my video. So you could either write like and share in my Facebook comments, or you could like or share in the hi Kara, good to see you, like or share in the on YouTube, and either way you would get your name into a drawing. So I did go out and collected up all the names and had Ray do a drawing for me. First of all, let me say thank you so much for participating and liking and sharing my videos. It helps me out so much. Hi Sandy, good to see you. And so the name that Ray drew for the winner of the Hello Ladybug punch and stamp set, her name is Regina Romero. So Regina, if you see this, please send me a message so that I know that you are aware of the fact that you were the winner of the bundle. And I also need to get your mailing address. So if you would do that, send me a personal message, either go out to Facebook and send me a personal message, or you can go to my website, April Davis Creations, and you can contact me that way. But let me know, Regina Romero, and congratulations. And again, thank you everybody for liking and sharing my video last week. Oh gosh, so what do I want to talk to you about tonight? I want to update you on a number of things. Probably the first thing that I need to update you on is, and I'm going to get this set up so you can see, is that this is the last week. Let me see if I can join you guys. Let me try again. Good. This is the last week for the starter kit special. In fact, this is like tomorrow's the last day. Tomorrow's the last day for the starter kit special. And I actually designed the cards tonight, or have the cards tonight, to kind of go along with these in colors. These in colors are gorgeous, and I'm going to just bring them in again. I've got the inks and the ribbon right now just because I'm going to be utilizing these tonight. But these colors are gorgeous. I am so in love with them, and I keep using them over and over and over again. But I wanted just to remind everybody that this is the last, today and tomorrow are the last days that you can take advantage of this kit special. Now, in addition to that, I want to share with you some sneak peeks of things that are coming up, some exciting things that are coming up. So starting on June the 5th, Stampin' Up is running a special, and they are going to be giving an extra 10% off of bundles. So when you buy a bundle, you get 10% off anyway. But Stampin' Up, June 5th through the 30th is giving you an additional 10% off of your bundle. And not only that, they're giving you 10% off the cut and emboss machines. So whether you get the big one, the little one, if it's on your list and you've been wanting to get it, this is a great way to get 10% off of it during the month of June and the special that they're running. So some additional sneak peeks that I can give you, and this kind of ties into becoming a demonstrator and all the fun things that you get as a demonstrator. Demonstrators, you're going to get 10% off too. You're going to get your discount that you normally get, but you're also going to get 10% off. And we have some new online exclusives that are being released in July. And as a demonstrator, you always get to pre-order the exclusives, you know, whether it's in the catalog or online. These happen to be online exclusives. And so I'm going to share with you just some sneak peeks of the pre-orders that demonstrators can do during the month of June, starting June 5th through the end of June. You can pre-order these products before our customers can. It becomes available to our customers on July the 5th. Or in July, I'm assuming it's right around there. But anyway, this has got some celebration paper. There's 48 sheets here, and it looks like it's covering Christmas and Valentine's and fall and just a lot of different areas where you would celebrate. So you've got that, and then in addition to that, you've got a stamp set, iconic imagery, and it goes along with the paper that I just showed you. You've got a die set, you've got adhesive back dots, you've got this white ribbon. So there's a number of things that you can get, and this is actually a pre-order in June. The next pre-order in June looks like we're gearing up to get towards the holidays, and so we've got some Season of Green and Gold designer series paper. We've got some vellum, which looks fun. It's got print on it, but it's actually vellum that we can utilize. And then we also have kits, Golden Greenery Bundle. And so you can see the sprigs of greenery and then the various dyes that you've got. This is a very vanilla satin ribbon, cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive back berries that you can use. And so, and then there's also an everyday greetings stamp set as well. So again, you become a demonstrator, you get to pre-order all of these things ahead of when it's actually released. But there's more. They're bringing out a change in leaves bundle that you can pre-order. It looks like there might be an embossing folder here as well as I'm looking at it. And then we get a sneak peek to Halloween. And we've got a potions and spell bundle. And look at these little bubbles cooking up out of the pot. How fun is that? So anyway, fun stuff coming up in June. I wanted to let you guys know, especially if you're still on the fence about this starter kit special, not only are you going to get the in colors for free, but then you'll also be able to participate in getting your discount, the additional 10% off, and these 10% off comes off of the bundles as well from your pre-order. So quite the deal, if I have to say so myself. So anyway, let me move this off to the side because there's other things that I want to share with you. What else is coming up? I'm going to try, if my computer will cooperate, I'm going to bring this up. This is a to-go class, and I'm bringing you here. I'm not going to switch around very much here because my computer's not cooperating. But all the information for the to-go class, so when you see the cards that I'm creating tonight, if you're interested in the kit for these cards, you can receive the kit for free by placing an order in my online store, and you can go to the to-go classes to get all of that information. You just need to remember to use the host code that is in on that page for the to-go classes as well, but I put it up here just in case you want to reference it there. Gonna take that down, and then I'm going to talk about the Create Happiness Club. It's time to talk about the July Create Happiness Club. So I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of what we got. I've been working, and I'm actually gonna bring this up and over for just a second so I can show you what's in the Create Happiness Club. But I'm featuring the Country Birdhouse bundle. So it's the dies, and it's also the stamps for it. And then I'm pairing that with the Country, let me pull this over really quickly. The Country, Country Woods paper. I love this paper. You actually saw me utilizing this paper in the last 2 lives that I did because it was part of the fishing, the Gone Fishing bundle that I was creating, the cards that I was creating. But I just wanted to show you really quickly, again, how cool this paper is. And so I'm featuring this paper in the Create Happiness Club. Cool, huh? I love, love, love this paper. And I think you're gonna love the cards that I have created as a result of utilizing this paper. So you got this. So you need to have the Country Birdhouse bundle. In your Create Happiness kit, you're gonna get a half pack. So I'm just gonna cut it in half. So it'll be 6 by 12, a half pack of the Country Woods paper. In addition to that, you're gonna get a full package of the opaque faceted gems. So you'll get a full packet of those. And then you'll get enough cardstock to create these amazing cards that I'm gonna show you. So let me move this out of the way. So this is the first card that you're gonna be able to create. Isn't that fun? That's card number 1. Then we've got card number 2, which is also the birdhouse. Card number 3, I'm gonna bring over for you guys to see more birdhouses. Then I've got one that's a little bit different. It's still a birdhouse, but we focused on just a pop of color. And then the last thing you're gonna get to create is a little treat box that is also a birdhouse. So it's a 3D project that you'll get to create. So this is all part of the Create Happiness Club. Registration is open through June the 10th. So basically what you need to do, I'm gonna bring this back up. Hopefully I can show you. You're gonna go to my website again, and this time you're gonna just scroll down to the Create Happiness Club, and you'll find it on the Create Happiness Club. Hopefully things are going well because I'm watching and it seems like it's going kind of slow. And then the last thing that I want to just remind you about is the Crafting Crossroads Fusion Fest. It's also on my website. You can scroll down and go to Crafting Crossroads. Again, things are going really slow, so I'm not going to click on it, but it is a fusion fest of techniques. I'm partnering with Tina Kravchuk, the Northern Stamper. She's in Canada, and she's going to be teaching part of the class. I'm going to be teaching part of the class. I believe it's the 27th, 28th, and 29th of September. So it's a ways out, but we want you to register now so that we can make sure that we get all our supplies and everything together for you. You're going to receive in your kit about $50 worth of product. It's supplies and tools and what you need to be able to create your techniques. Right now we have a special going on, an early bird special. That early bird special ends on June 15th. So go out, look at the Crafting Crossroads. I can give you more information next week after I get my technical difficulties resolved. But in the meantime, all that information is there. All you need to do is go out and look at the website. All right, so I'm going to take that down. I'm going to come back to you, and I'm going to start showing you the cards that we're creating tonight. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to actually bring in the catalog first to show you. So let me bring the screen up. So this Unbounded Beauty Suite has 2 sets of stamps and dies in it, 2 bundles. It also comes with your gems or your dots, some specialty paper, and then a suite of paper as well, designer series paper. It's called Unbounded Beauty. We're actually going to be using the Unbounded Beauty tonight, and then we're going to use the Unbounded Love stamp set with these really cool dies that come with it. So this is what we're going to be doing tonight, and the cards that we're making are with the in colors. So you're going to see this is Pretty in Pink, this is Petunia Pop, and then we've got Peach Pie. Now the Peach Pie is the lighter color. I paired it with Coral, and then I'm going to Calypso Coral, and then I'm going to show you one other card that I make that we're not necessarily going to be making tonight, but I want to show you because I wanted to include all 5 of the colors, and I was only making 3 cards, so I've got a 4th card that I can show you. So let's go ahead and we'll get started with the Pretty in Pink card. So let me pull that kit out for you to see, and you're going to see as I pull this kit out. We've got the basic white paper, and then I wanted to change this up. I thought this card was really cute. I liked it, but I wanted a little bit more pizzazz. And so I decided to add a layer of basic white, and I embossed my basic white with the circle dots. And so I don't know, this might be a little bit hard to see. Let me turn this over so you can see it a little bit. But it's a fun embossing folder. It's a large embossing folder, but I'm using the circle dots just to kind of add a little bit of pizzazz to it. And then we've got our Pretty in Pink layer. And then I've got the designer series paper already cut. We're going to get that adhered. We've got a piece of scrap white for our sentiment, and then we've got a ribbon, and I should have one more piece in here. I've got my little circle that I cut with the stylish shape dies. You guys know this is like a staple in my studio. These stylish shape dies I am utilizing all the time. So we're utilizing again tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the stamping and die cutting done first, and then we'll start to assemble a card. So I'm gonna move this off to the side, and I've got my Celebrate out, and I'm looking for my mat because this is a photopolymer stamp, and there's no cushion to my photopolymer stamps. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Stampin' Pierce mat to give me some cushion. I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Pretty in Pink. So we'll go ahead and get this going. My tapping, I do not have scrap paper. What's up with that? Didn't grab that. So we're just gonna wing it, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down. I feel I've used this before, so I feel fairly confident that it's gonna be just fine. I did wet down my Simply Chamois, so I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp off before I move forward. Move this off to the side. And then the die, I don't think I pulled the die out of the stamp set, so let me pull my stamp set over here. And this particular die that we're going to use, and look at all these dies. There is a multitude of dies in this set. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this over and get this lined up and grab I've got some tape that I was using earlier that I'm just going to go ahead and use. Going to get this centered as best I can, top to bottom, without getting my head into the picture too bad. I'm going to bring in my little mini cut and emboss. Remember, starting on June 5th, you get 10% off of this. 10% off the big one, 10% off of the little one. All right, so let's go ahead and run this through. So I'll have that done so we can just start to assemble this card. All right, moving that out of the way. All right, we've got our banner. I'm going to put my die over here, And let's go ahead and bring all of our pieces back in and start to assemble this card. Okay, and we've got a special little piece that I decided to add in as a bonus. And if you guys like it, I'll make it part of the kit. All right, let me get my bone folder here so I can get this burnished. All right, now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down my layer of white that has been embossed, and I literally just cut it at 1/8 of an inch shorter than the actual card base. But because it is embossed, I'm going to make sure that I get plenty of glue on it so that it adheres well. Alrighty. Go ahead and get this down. Again, I like my glue because it gives me the freedom to wiggle my paper around if I don't feel like I got it centered just the way that I want it. And then many times, and I've got a big one over here, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I will put a block over the top of it just to kind of help it adhere. So while it's doing that, I'm going to take this pretty and pink piece and I'm going to start adhering the paper that, the designer series paper that I've cut. So I'm just going to kind of lay this out to make sure I'm paying attention to where I want these pieces to go and spacing them appropriately. So we've got that and that. All right, so let's go ahead and start to adhere those. And I'll move this up. I want to stay in camera, and I don't realize sometimes that I've pulled the project in closer to me and then it's out of the view of the camera. So I'm really trying to be more conscious of where I am with my projects, you guys can see as well. So I'm going to go ahead and layer this down, and I'll pull it up just a little bit because it doesn't need to be down that far, but I'm going to line it with this edge. Okay. Wiggle it just a little bit over. I feel like it needs to go over just a little bit. Okay. And then we'll get this one. Get it adhered. See, is there an up and a down to this? Maybe. I'll go ahead and do it this way. And actually, this is going to be fairly close. So, not as much space between this as I had hoped that there would be. Probably the way that it was cut, but it still does what I want it to do as far as showing two different papers. All right, so let's take our little piece of ribbon now, and I'm going to take my ribbon snips. My ribbon snips, I always know what they are is because I have a piece of ribbon on the end of it, and they're quite sharp. Cutting paper with your scissors definitely dulls them, and if you've ever tried to cut ribbon after cutting paper, you know the difference. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay this down probably right about here, and all I'm going to do to adhere it is take some of my cellophane tape, probably not that big of a piece, but I'm going to cover it up with the circle. But I'm just going to adhere it down like that. And then I can take my circle and I'm going to put some dimensionals on my circle. So let me bring the dimensionals in. And we will put the circle down on top of, and I'm actually, let me think about this. I want to just trying to think how I think what I'm gonna do for this particular piece, because we've got the ribbon down, is I'm gonna put dimensionals on the entire circle. So there's gonna be 4. I know that's a lot. Normally you don't need that many, but because I'm working with that ribbon, I wanna make sure that my circle adheres well. So let me just pull these off. So get this out of the way. And then I'm gonna put the circle off just about right here. And then what I can do is I can take my sentiment, and since my circle is already popped up, I don't really need to take my sentiment and pop it up. So basically what I'm gonna do with it is I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back. You don't need a lot, just a little bit, and we'll go ahead and we will get this adhered down. So we'll do that. And then I'm gonna bring this back out now that it has had a chance to set. And now I have to decide, do I wanna do dimensionals on the back of this? Oh, I can already tell that I'm gonna like that. I think I am. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use dimensionals on the back of this as well to pop this up. And that way I don't have to worry about trying to glue it down to all of these dimensions. And I'm actually gonna pull out my take your pick because I like taking these backings off with my take your pick versus having to pick every one of them off. See how fast that was? All right, now let's turn this over and I'm gonna get this centered where I want it to go. Probably, maybe bring it up so you guys can see right about here maybe. I like that. Yep. And one more thing, I'm going to bring in my little, they're called the In Color resin dots. And we're gonna put a few In Color resin dots on this. We're gonna use a little one, let's see, right here maybe. And then we'll take a bigger one and come down here. And then a smaller one and come over here. Okay, so we'll move this off to the side. And you guys tell me, which do you like better? Do you like the one that's plain better and it's flat, there's no dimension to it except for the circle? Or do you like it better having a little bit of that dot background? I mean, I like them both, but if I'm being honest, I just like having a little bit more activity. And I think that the embossing added that. So let me know what you guys think, but that's card number 1. All right, bring in card number 2. Okay, this is gonna be card number 2. Let me get this place cleaned up just a little bit. Thank you, Kara. I'm so glad you like the embossed too. Yay. Okay, moving stuff out of the way. I have a lot of stuff here. All right, so this is gonna be card number 2. In card number 2, there's a lot of pieces, and oh my goodness, you guys, let me see if I can find it. I did it again. You can see the first one, just plain. It's pretty, but it's plain. Oh, good. Thanks, Diane. I do love that. But look what I did. I actually got this started, but the base is going to be Petunia Pop, and I did it again. I did a white card base, and this time I utilized, I can't think of the name of this one, but this is another one of the new embossing folders, kind of an eyelet kind of embossing. So as a result, we're going to build the card with that embossing on it. So we've got, I don't need this white because I've already utilized it. I've got a piece of Designer Series paper. I have a piece of Summer Splash. I have a piece of white. This is going to be a layered card. And then I've got another piece of Designer Series paper. And then I'm going to utilize this to stamp my sentiment on. So let's go ahead and get the sentiment done first. So we're going to move this stuff out of the way. And this time we're going to do happy birthday, and we're going to do it in Petunia Pop. And so I'm going to bring my piercing mat back in again. And let's get this stamped, and then we'll go ahead and pull that die out. So stamp this. And all I have to do is get it in the center. It doesn't have to be straight because I'm going to be nice. I love that font. I think that font is so pretty. All right, so let's move this out of the way, and we'll pull the dies back out. And this time we're going to be utilizing this one. So let me grab that. And let me see, where's the tape that I was using? Oh, I put it off to the side. So we'll go ahead and get this centered. That looks good. We'll bring back in my little mini cut and emboss. Move this stuff out of the way. And we'll crank this through. All right, moving it out of the way. This tape is just a little bit stickier than the other tape that I use, and I've used this a number of times, and I'm still very, very careful when I remove the tape because I don't want to tear my sentiment. All right, so let's start building. We've already got this piece done. We've got the embossing piece on it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the designer series paper, and we're going to take the designer series paper and we're going to adhere it across. I don't know, for interest, I kind of like not necessarily being right in the center. I like coming down just a little bit. It's just personal preference. You can go a little higher, you can go a little bit lower. I just like having it just off center. It's probably the same, as like when I do embellishments. I don't like doing even embellishments. I kind of like being off just a little bit. That's why I use 3 more often than not. But I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And now what we can do is we can start building this layer. This card is so easy because it's really just layers, but so pretty. And all I'm doing is combining the designer series paper with the sentiment set. And you can see the cards are just so pretty and so easy. So sometimes when you don't want to put a lot of time and effort into the cards, which I can tell you with the Create Happiness set, there's a lot of time involved in that. The cards are gorgeous. You're going to love, love, love putting them together, but they're going to take more time than these cards are going to take you. And part of it's just because you're piecing together a lot of pieces. These are layers. Layers are easy to put together. So let me go ahead and get this down. I'm going to have to do some scooching to make it centered the way that I want it. Okay, happy with that. Now, again, what I'm going to do, because of the fact that I've got an embossed layer under here, this one's all flat. There's no dimension. Well, there's no dimension at all. I didn't even put dimension on the sentiment. So this one I am going to raise up. And I actually have a lot of fun. I've created the cards one way, and then after I've had a chance to look at them, I think about how I want to do them differently. Sometimes I don't do them differently, but you guys know me. I mean, it's like I come to the table and it's like, we're going to go a little rogue. And I love going rogue. Hi, Marcia. I'm so glad you stopped by to say hello. Aw, thank you for being here. So, Kara, is Krista working tonight, or do you think she's watching? Because she's my rogue queen. She loves to go rogue. All right, let me turn this way, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this centered pretty much in the card, I think. There we go. And now what we're going to do is, oh gosh, I might as well pop up the sentiment as well. kind of in a pop-up mood tonight. She's working. Well, she'll catch the replay. Let her know I was thinking about her. Okay, I'm going to put this down. Let's see. Where do I want to put this? Do I want to go a little high, a little low? Maybe we'll go right here and center it in the strip, or pretty close to the strip, the DSP. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're just going to add some of the in color ribbon. And I love it when I can just add a ribbon. I don't even cut it off the bolt until after I have got my bow tied. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Get my bow tied. That looks good. And take my ribbon snips and we're going to cut it off here, and we'll cut it off here. Whoops, I didn't like that one. Let's do it this way. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to bring out a glue dot. Where are my glue dots? Take your pick. I might want to trim up this one side just a little bit, but we'll wait until I get it on the card. So I'm going to put some glue dot behind there. I'm actually going to do two just for giggles. I want it to be nice and secure. And then we'll turn this around and I'm going to put it right down here at the base. And we'll see. Do I need to trim it up? Yeah, maybe just a teeny tiny little bit. I want to be able to hold on to it though, because there we go. All right, so here we go. This was card number 1. This is card number 2. Embossing or not? Gosh, I'm a fan of the embossing. What do you think, guys? Okay, card number 2. Let's clean up my mess and we will move on to card number 3. All right, card number 3. Where is the card? I found the kit. I just got to find the card. Here it is. All right. So this particular card I did with Calypso Coral, and then I paired it with the Peach Pie. So I'm going to bring out the Peach Pie ink because we're going to have to stamp this sentiment. But here's our Calypso Coral, and then I've got a piece of basic white, and then I'd already planned, this is the Peach Pie, and it's actually embossed with the Zinnia embossing folder. I'm looking to see if my Zinnia embossing folder is close by. It doesn't look like it. Oh, here it is. I knew it was here. All right, so such a pretty embossing folder. Makes for a great background. Can you guys see that? So pretty. All right, so we've done that. And then what I did is I took a piece of the Designer Series paper and I cut it in half. And so basically what's going to happen is this was the first half, so this is the second half. But because it's the second half, I don't want my flowers to be upside down. They're going to be upside down. So now instead of putting it in the lower left corner, I have to put it in the upper right corner. And then I wanted to show you guys, I went ahead and I already stamped my sentiment, but I wanted to show you this die because this die is pretty cool. It is this die right here, and I don't know, let me see, let me put this stuff down for just a second if you can see it, but there's two areas that cut. There's a center area that cuts, and then there's an outer area that cuts. So, whoop, it's not this die, it is that the die? No, that's not the die. Sorry, it's this die. Same difference though, center, inner area that cuts, outer area that cuts. This is what happens when you cut it. I didn't realize this. I did my sentiment, layered it up so that I could cut it. And when I was done, this is what I found. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to use this, but we're also going to use this piece as well. So we're going to kind of play and see how we can make this work. Especially since I popped that up. So we're gonna play around and see what we can do. And Kara, thank you very much. I really think the embossing makes a huge difference. All right. So no stamping because I've already got that done ahead of time. So let's go ahead and let's get this card all put together. And then I'm going to take my embossed piece and I'm going to layer it on my white. So we'll get that done. Pick it up, wiggle it around. I don't know. I'm just so impressed with people who can just place their piece of paper down and it's perfectly centered. That never happens for me. I always have to wiggle. You know, I do like the tape runners, but it has to be on special things that I'm working on where I don't have to be quite so accurate when I'm putting things down, because once I use a tape runner and it goes down, I just don't have the wiggle room that I need. So I'm a glue girl mostly. So let me get this lined up. And again, the reason that we did it this way is because I wanted my flowers, they're directional, so I wanted them up. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're going to adhere this piece to the front of our card. And I am going to use dimensionals yet again. If I can find where I put them, it's like, they shouldn't have gone very far, right? All right, so let's do this. And then we're gonna play with that sentiment a little bit. I'm kind of excited to play with that because I wanna use that piece. I don't have to. I could have just discarded it, or I could have set it off to the side and tried to use it for something else. In fact, I think there is a card, I don't have it to show you tonight, but there's a card that I did just that, where I actually stamped on the paper and then I just did the border around it like this. But not tonight. We're not gonna do that tonight. All right, so let me put it on this side, turn this around. The other thing, and I didn't fix it, and I don't know if I'll get it fixed. So I'm talking about future cards that you'll see that I've been creating. I've been trying to get ahead of schedule so that I can have several weeks in advance created so that I don't feel like I'm falling behind and I can't seem to get this centered the way I want it. But anyway, what I did is I wasn't paying attention, and my card, if it was a card like this card, which opens up this way, my card opens up this way. I put it on upside down and I thought, you know what? I think I'm just going to keep it like that for now. I can fix it later and I'll show you how I'm going to fix it. But I thought, you know what? I'm certain that I'm not the only one that's done that. So I wanted to show you guys how I would fix it. All right, so the other thing that I noticed is that this die that I used for this sentiment is not the same die that I used for the previous card, the sample card that I made, and that's okay. Not a problem with that at all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on first, and then we're going to see if we can make this work. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on. Let me see, do I want to come up here? I think I'm going to come up here just a little bit on my designer series paper. So I'm going to put it up and I want to just get it lined up. All right, now what I want to do is I want to take this, and this is the front of it. I want to place it so that it goes behind the card or behind the sentiment, but it lines up with it. So it just kind of adds a little bit of a flair to it. So we're going to see if we can get this done, because you can see I don't have a lot of space to work with. And I think just for these purposes, I'm just going to put like little dots along the back. I love my little precision tip glue bottle that I fill with the multi-glue. I like the multi-glue. I love the way that it performs, but I like my precision tips. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna get little drips on here, little drops, not too much glue. And then I'm going to very carefully try to get this laid down. Oh, so good. And then we're just gonna press it down. It's just adding a little bit of interest to the sentiment that we've got, and you know, kind of fun. I like the way that looks. Do you guys like the way that looks? Fun. All right, we're not done yet. We need to do another bow. So we're gonna bring out the peach pie ribbon. I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did before. Tie my bow. And then when I get my bow the way that I want it, then I'll cut it off. All right, a little bit more here, I think. Got it? All right, let's take the snips and let's go ahead and cut this off. So we're gonna cut this off here, and I'm gonna grab this and cut it off here. Hopefully, pretty good. All right, so let me move this off to the side. Got my glue dots here again. We'll use those. You take your pick. Let me see, which side do I want up? Is this my, this is my back side. So again, I'm just gonna put a couple. I wanna make sure that it's nice and adhered. All right. Get my fingers off of it. And then I'm gonna go right here to the corner, and we're gonna put that down. And we have our third card. And you know what? I did do it up just a little bit differently by putting the little border around my sentiment. So this one, totally different die cut, but this one I think is really cool the way that it works, because you can see the cardstock underneath it. Anyway, card number 3. Let me bring these in so you guys can see them again. Clean up my little mess I got going here. Here we've got card number 2 that we made, the first one and the second one with the embossing. And then of course we've got card number 1 that we made. And oh my gosh, I do love this folder and just how it made this card pop. You know, you can go as simple as you want to go, or you can go as more avid and detailed that you want to go. But I guess what maybe I'm able to point out tonight is the fact that you can go from simple to spectacular by just adding an embossed piece. So, love those cards. All right, I'm gonna come back and see you guys for just a second. This class tonight didn't go as long as I went last week. I felt bad about going so long last week, so I was trying to keep it a little bit shorter tonight. But really, I thought I was gonna talk a lot. So I wanna go back in and I wanna just kind of remind you of what's going on. 2 more days for the Kit Special. That's it. So after May, that special's not available anymore. But you've got all of the fun ink colors that you would receive. We've also got the discount, the 10% discount that starts on June the 5th. June the 5th through the end of the month. You're going to get 10% off of bundles. You're going to get 10% off of the cut and emboss machines. And then also, I just happened to mention we've got pre-orders that are happening right now. Stampin' Up's getting ready to bring out some online exclusives. The ones that I showed you, that's not all of them. Those are the only ones that we're allowed to pre-order. So there'll be more online exclusives coming in July, so you can look forward to that. Don't forget about my Create Happiness Club. The enrollment's open today and it goes through June the 10th. So if you're interested in that subscription club, go ahead and get that ordered as well. And then the last thing that I wanted to bring up, that I wanted to remind you about, is to go check out on my website that Fusion Fest, the Cross Borders. That technique class is going to be amazing. 3 days of techniques. You're going to get bunches and bunches of techniques. And I think I shared before, but I was looking for my notebook. But basically what's going to happen is for each technique you do, you're going to get a sheet that describes what you need to do for your techniques. And what we're trying to do is to help you to create an album that you can flip through. So when you're creating and you want to do a technique, you can just go look at that. I'm going to call it a cheat sheet. You can look at the cheat sheet and create that technique. Plus, there is an exclusive Facebook group that you'll belong to, and all of those videos are going to be recorded. So you'll have access to all of those videos. 3 days is a lot of days, and we know that you can't be with us or may not be able to be with us for 3 whole days. So what you do miss, you're not going to miss it because we've got everything recorded. All right, did I tell you everything that I needed to tell you? I think so. Regina Romero, please send me a personal message so that I can get your address and get your bundle out to you. To everybody else, thank you so much for sharing and liking my video. I am working to build this community, and sharing and liking helps so much. So I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.